do you come from a lineage of ministers, right? Like from your granddad, you have a big name behind you that sets you apart in terms of the expectations that are laid upon you. You also have, being part of Jesus Calls International Ministries, there are standards that are set upon you. So when you look at the fact that you have to meet those expectations and live up to those standards, at the same time, you as an individual have a specific purpose and identity and a calling. So how do you balance between meeting those requirements, meeting those standards, at the same time not compromising on your true identity? Why I'm asking this question is a lot of people are under the cover of maybe a church, a ministry, or some family expectations, but at the same time, they need to know how to balance between that and their divine purpose.
Yeah, I can really resonate with that because even from a young age, right at the point of like maybe being born, people would have put a label on me or have an expectation on me saying, oh, she's born in this family, a family of ministers. She's also going to grow up to be a minister. But even from a young age, I was never really interested in preaching because I mean, I didn't have any experience in it. I didn't have like a passion for it and things like that. So even when like people would come up to me and say, oh, you're going to follow your grandfather. First your dad did it, now it's going to be you. You know, when people say that, it's like I know in my heart, oh no, that's not the calling that God has given me. So, as I said, in my personal life, He has been a really great friend, leading me through each and every step of my life, whether it be in my schooling, whether it be in my friendships, whether it be my relationships with my family. God has been teaching me and really molding me into the person that He intended me to be. So, in the process of that, He had given me a passion for music. And even through that, as I gave my life to Christ, I made a commitment to do music to glorify His name, to share the gospel through that avenue. So, it's not just preaching that is considered ministry, you know, just sharing the gospel in unique ways is considered ministry. And I am very blessed to have that platform to be able to share the gospel through these different ways, through music, through blogs, through vlogs and things like that. So that's how God had set me, given me that identity. She's a singer, she and all those things that I do. So just sharing my personal experiences gave me that identity. And obviously, all our experiences are different. So even in our own family, we all are different. Even my brother, my sister, and I, my grandfather, my grandmother, my mom. Even people would used to tell my mom, or she even had that desire to be so bold like my grandfather, to be so strong and powerful and pray with a bold spirit. But her voice used to be very low, and she's a very shy person as well. And like, it would be so timid when she would speak. But then when she would pray, just that voice, that same voice would bring tears in the eyes of people, would make the demons shriek in the meetings. So you should never aspire to be someone else. You should aspire to be what God created you to be. You have individuality. That's how you've been brought up, through the experiences that mold you. And you should never give that up and say, no, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person, because they're already taken. So you should be yourself, the one that God had created you to be.
That's absolutely true. I recently released my second book called Unveil Your Purpose, where actually, your dad is the one who gave the forward to it. And that book is something where I talk about this important aspect, because I realized like only when you walk in your purpose, you actually fulfill your, you're able to live to the highest potential. You're able to make the impact for God's kingdom, not being a copy of somebody else. And I always say this, what really makes the difference is what is different about you. If we try to put everybody in a mold and say, okay, your dad was like this, your granddad was like this, so you be like that. So that kind of puts you in a pressure and a mold that you're not really called to be, right? So even as a preacher, like for example, like you said, a lot of people put a pressure on me saying, you have to be a preacher like this, you have to do like this. And but my gift is, like as I said, encouraging and storytelling. So one of the gifts I do have is, like, I bring out messages from the random things that you could ever imagine, like lessons from Scooby-Doo, lessons from the Hannah Montana or Snake Island. So the Christian world kind of puts me in a bad spot. They're like, oh, this is not the traditional approach, this is not the way it's supposed to be. So they kind of put you in a mold and expect you to work out things in a certain direction or a certain way. But as I realized, because of the way I present the content, because of the way I am, reaching out the way I'm gifted, a lot of people tell me all the time, I don't like anything to do with God, but I watch your Scooby-Doo
Mhm.
videos, and then I bring the gospel to them. So many people I've heard who say this, who don't want anything to do with God, but they follow. So if you really want to make a difference and impact in this world, you have to embrace what is different about you and act upon it, and that's where you really see the difference. So
Mhm.
you've pointed out in a really beautiful way. Hey, I hope you were blessed by this video, and I really encourage you to subscribe to this channel to get more such content which will bless you, edify you, and help you live the life that God has for you as well. I also encourage you to check out my daily podcast, Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. By the grace of God, it's been trending across the globe, making an impact for the kingdom of God. To check out my books, especially my latest one, Unveil Your Purpose, which became a #1 new release on Amazon. To stay plugged in through a social media for regular inspirations on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. To check out the weekly podcast where my messages get dubbed into Tamil. You can get more details at www.johngiftah.com. And also, if you have been blessed by this ministry and you would like more people to be blessed by the ministry, I encourage you to support us financially. If you're in India, you can support us through Google Pay or net banking, or if you're anywhere around the world, you can support us through PayPal. And all the details are in the description. And I hope you were blessed and you would stay plugged in. And I will see you back next time. God bless you.